7 morning to you. This is Breakfast with Stephen and Anne on your TV, on your radio and online.
It's time to go through the papers now. Joining us this morning, former editor of the Daily Star, Dawn Neeson, and author and journalist James Bloodworth. And James, in Hungary, they're worried that their women are getting too clever?
It seems so. So the Hungarian government's commissioned this report, and it says that if too many women go to if more women go to university, too many in their view, they're not going to be able to find husbands, and therefore they're not going to be able to have children.
Right.
Hungary has a problem with
Clever women don't want love, do they?
A million people have left Hungary in the last 10 years. They're having a kind of crisis around the birth rate, and the government is basically a very traditionalist government, thinks women should be staying in the home, really not working.
Well, if you've got a falling birth rate, it's a problem for a country, isn't it? We talked about Albania having the same problem. Italy has had the same problem as well. More and more women in Italy, for instance, are simply taking the decision not to have a family.
Yeah, it is a problem, and there is kind of statistics which show that women tend to marry across and up. So they tend to marry people with a higher or the same education level as themselves. But then I would suggest that the way to fix that is to help improve the lot of men and get more men into university.
Educate the entire
to kind of
population.
Up their game in that respect, because I don't think it's really fair to say to women that you should not go to university. Or, I don't think any of us do.
My nana said to my mother when she was going to teacher training college, which is a long time ago now, said, educate, because a lot of people were saying she shouldn't go.
Yes.
Because she was a woman. I said, educate a woman, educate a family.
Yes.
And she said that, but she said that back in the early 1960s.
That's very forward-thinking.
It's forward-thinking, isn't it?
Talking a lot of sense, because they're trying this policy, aren't they, in Afghanistan, stopping girls and women being educated. That's going really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't work. It absolutely won't work. That's sort of social engineering of the worst type, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, it's a very
If you want women to have
solution.
babies, you need to make it easier for them to support those babies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And childcare,
And
affordable childcare.
encourage men to take as much responsibility as the women take for raising
And it's policies like this which maybe are why people are leaving Hungary in the first
Well,
place.
exactly.
Yeah.
It does stink slightly, doesn't it? Dawn, tell us about Ozzy Osbourne. What's he saying? But it's made the front page.
We have scoured the papers, James and I, this morning to find the fun stories, and you do have to look.
you.
To be fair, this is the front page of the Star, who at least having some light-heartedness on a bank holiday Saturday weekend. Right, Ozzy, I'm haunted by spirits. No, not that kind. This is Ozzy Osbourne, obviously. Ozzy Osbourne, if you don't know who Ozzy Osbourne is, I can't bother explaining it.
No, it would take a long time.
Yeah. Any case, he's given an interview saying that he thinks his Hollywood home is filled with evil and mystery figure haunts him in bed. I don't think he's talking about Sharon Osbourne either there. But his nickname, obviously, Ozzy's 73, his nickname, the Prince of Darkness, and he's saying he panics over a stranger lurking in the corner of his wife Sharon's bedroom. He gets some I'm not using his language because it's a bit fruity, but yeah, basically he's saying his mansion and his bedroom in particular is haunted.
Right.
Meanwhile, wife Sharon says, well, I've never seen anything.
No, exactly.
I mean, Ozzy does have a reputation for maybe partaking of a few substances that might help you see things.
I would have thought so.
Yes.
But it's still like a ghost story.
It makes a fun front page, I suppose.
Yes.
And as you said, that's what we need a bit of.
Yeah. Well, he also revealed in this interview that how he gave up acid after talking to a horse, which told him to go away in no uncertain terms.
The horse did.
Yeah, the horse did.
Well, there you go. Good reason to do not take illegal drugs, ladies and gentlemen. James, what's going on with our very English vineyards?
So this story might be bracketed under the kind of lighter side of global warming. So climate change is generally considered a bad thing, but every cloud, as they say, we may be able to produce some fine vintage wines here because our climate is changing. So French champagne producers are stockpiling land in parts of Britain because they think it may yield some top class sparkling wines.
Can they do that?
Yeah,
I thought champagne had to be made in Champagne.
In Epernay.
Yeah, it had to be grown in that certain area.
It's champagne, though, isn't it? So it's a similar method. It's not using champagne.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could be producing some better quality wines here.
The French are coming over here and buying our vineyards.
Okay, but they are the experts when it comes to wine. But this bodes well for the future in terms of our own wine production.
Well, we make some
Was it?
very, very good sparkling wines.
Very good wines.
Really?
Kent,
Yeah.
Kent and Sussex in particular, very good vineyards for sparkling wines.
Frankly, if we
And
could call
Irish,
them
but-
champagne, if we could call them champagne, we would. We're
Yeah.
not allowed to, but
No.
you know, it's that standard.
English
Very
sparkling
nice
wines, actually more expensive than some of the champagnes as well.
Oh.
Absolutely
Brit Payne.
beautiful.
Yes.
Very nice thought on a bank holiday weekend
Yes.
when the sun's shining.
It is bank
Yeah.
holiday, come on.
Dawn, tell us what's Prince Harry's been doing.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have to have one royal story, don't we? This one's from the Daily Mail, who are obviously no great fan of Harry.
I really want to like Prince Harry still, and I'm finding it ever more difficult.
This is, yeah, well, absolutely, I think you're right. This is our, the hypocrisy of Harry the eco-warrior.
Yeah.
Duke of Sussex was spotted arriving at a California airport before his private planes are idling on the tarmac for 30 minutes. It's a 7.5 million private plane for a 90-minute trip to play polo.
But he went in an eco car to the airport.
Yeah, but his bodyguards didn't, and they were carrying all the stuff behind him. So he went in the eco car, and then he offset that by flying in a private jet on a 2-hour flight. He could have got a commercial airliner to play polo. And then he tells all of us to worry about our week in Spain and feel guilty for getting on our budget airline.
Yeah.
Six
hypocrisy,
tons of
isn't
CO2, which is about as much hot air as Meghan Markle's latest podcast.
Has anybody listened to that yet?
A bit.
I've read a
It was just awful.
transcript.
Oh, yeah.
I read a bit of that.
Cringy.
Yeah.
Is it really as bad as they say that she didn't interview whoever it was?
Serena.
Serena Williams.
She didn't really interview her, but just talked about herself to her.
That's
Really?
really.
I was actually
Yeah.
very interested to hear what Serena Williams had to
Yeah.
say about being a woman in sport and her ambition is it's deemed unfeminine in sport. I was actually genuinely interested in that subject matter, and all I learned was a lot about Meghan Markle. I think she spoke 1.5 times more than her interview subject.
Really? Oh.
There you are. It leaves you speechless, actually, doesn't it? More and more. James, tell us about daydreaming. We should be daydreamers.
Yeah, so daydreaming. I mean, this is something I was told off about in school, but it's actually quite good for you in terms of creativity and busy lives. We can kind of find less time to daydream, but researchers say we should give it a go. It's
Give it a go.
yeah, give it a go.
Oh, bosses will be happy with that then.
It's not right now.
Hold on a minute, I'm
no,
tuning out.
Yeah.
We spend kind of less time with all the distractions we have nowadays, smartphones. We spend less time just kind of sitting
In our own
sitting and
space
being
and time,
contemplative.
in our own heads.
And I find personally with my writing, it can actually really help to create to break creative blocks. And many people will, it says, enjoy more than they realise just sitting and kind of staring into space.
Yeah.
But that's true.
I can kind of see that.
It's true because I mean, even when we were on holiday the other week, I mean, you want to sit and gaze out at the sea, the sparkles on the sea, the pine-clad covered hills, and then your phone goes and you go, oh, just pick my phone up, and it's like suddenly you've lost.
Do you know,
Yeah.
I was in the car on my way home yesterday, and sitting at traffic lights basically, and there was this screaming noise coming from a child nearby, which made me look and have a look. And this kid was in a pushchair, absolutely screaming its lungs out. It was really annoyed about something. It was sort of angry scream. And so I had a look at the mother or nanny or whoever she was. She was pushing the thing and she was on her phone, and then there was another child behind her just sort of lolling along, and she was completely on another planet, the mum or the nanny or whoever's in charge, on her mobile phone with two screamers. And I just thought that this is what the world is coming to. So then I started looking at other people who were just walking past, and everybody was on a phone.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody was.
Right.
You have to dodge people on the street now as well. That feels like
Phone
quite a
zombies.
recent thing where even walking around, everyone's on their phones.
Yeah.
You're kind of weaving.
And if you see someone hovering on the curb and you're driving, you're really aware, are they going to step off the curb or are they not? Because their concentration isn't even on the roadway or the path.
No, it is
It's on the
boring.
phone.
Phone detox.
Phone detox is not a bad thing. Mind you, they can be used for.
Doesn't matter who's got two in front of him.
Oh no! This is a
No.
This is a medical device.
Of course,
This one.
yes.
Look, it says this is a medical device, Ollie. When you turn the screen off, there you go. It controls my insulins. There you go. Dawn Neeson.
Sorry.
Dolly Daydream.
Washing clothes. Tell us about this West Brom striker who's made what I would call a student error.
Oh, it is. Well, he's only 22, bless him. It's a bit of fun. And finally on your bank holiday Saturday. This is footy star Daryl Dike, who plays for West Bromwich Albion. He's injured at the moment. £7 million. He's only 22. He's a US international, but he was having trouble with some of the English translation, even though he's American. So basically, he's been washing his clothes using dishwasher tabs for the last 8 months.
Well, you can.
Can
As
you?
long as it hasn't got bleach in it, yeah. Yes, you can.
You've done
It's
it?
more or less, yes. It's more or less the same stuff. You know when you run out of washing stuff for the washing machine, and there's no time to go out and get anything. And I've looked at the stuff I use for the dishwasher, and it's got no bleach in it at all. Just squirt of that does the trick.
But you did it on purpose, though, Anne,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay. Well, he just didn't realise that despite his dishwasher tabs having a shiny glass and a shiny plate and
But you know,
rinses your dishes.
detergent is detergent at the end of the day.
I do know.
As long as it
I do
hasn't
know
got
the
bleach.
washing up liquid definitely doesn't work in the dishwasher.
you've
So I've
done
tried
this.
that and
Oh, yeah.
soap suds all over the kitchen.
Oh, no.
Because it's
That does
slippery.
not
Did
work.
your clothes come out with a lovely bright shine?
Yes, all glossy and gorgeous. No. You have to be sensible. You have to be.
I might try it on my hair if that's the case.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Oh.
Sort of.
No!
What's the matter with you?
No, you can't say it's the same thing.
But it is. It's detergent.
You're going to have to try it, though. You're going to have to go home.
Not in a million years.
Say to the other half, darling, we're going to save money by using dishwasher tabs.
And do you know why they put them in pods? You know, to get you to use more. Because you don't need to use anything like the amount that's in a pod.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yes.
Can you have a bath with them as well? Can you put them in the bath? Like
Well,
bubble
you could
bath?
try.
You
Will
can
you
use-
report back? I doubt
Washing
it.
up liquid in the bath.
Have you done that one?
Yeah, I did that when we were kids.
No,
I
is
used
it
to
that?
swear that
dries out your skin, though,
No,
doesn't it?
it's very drying, yeah.
I don't know, I used to get a lot of bubbles up. That was when we used to have squeezy. Do you remember squeezy?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
can
Do you
say
remember-
that now because it doesn't exist anymore.
Do you
but I used
remember
to swear
matey?
about Matey?
Matey. Yeah, mate's a
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
We all overuse
Anyway,
detergent.
happy days, happy days. Dawn, James, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
The things we get talking about when we're trying to do lighter things in the programme to cheer ourselves up. Who would have